We are talking about communication 101. Okay. The first component is our expressing. Okay, the way you express your thoughts, you express your intention to your spouse. It should not just end in your mind or at the thought level. You should be able to express it out. But I see us most times having issues with this, especially from our wives. Okay, sometimes it ends at their thought level, and somehow they assume that magically you, as the husband, should have understood her thoughts and acted based on what she was thinking. Okay, I don't know, I'm talking from my own experience, anyways. Yours might be different. And then if you don't fit into that thought, remember I said assume, right? She will have also, since she had it in her mind, she will have also thought that she had told you. Okay, and you, innocent you could not fit into that thought. Say Azama Wahala, because you couldn't do what was exactly in her mind to do. But to communicate effectively, we must also be able to express our intentions. Okay, that is one of the components of what communication 101. Express it out, be audible about it. Okay, and be open about it. All right, such that your spouse will be able to know exactly what what you desire or what you are trying to pass on to him or on to her. Is very, very important, because the problem there sometimes is this, that we can be expressing but not open. Abi?
Yeah.
Yes. So you are keeping some information, some facts back. And without those facts, your spouse cannot link the your real aim, your real good out. He cannot or she cannot. All right, so we must be expressing and very, very open. So it's very important as part of the component for our communication. Okay, so then the second one is our ability to listen. Okay, an example just happened now between me and Bromada. Okay? Yeah, eating. So do we call that lack of listening, or what do we call that? Clarity, yeah. Yeah, yeah, in your mouth, actually. Obviously, that was the action. Yeah, yeah. So, so it also, you can also look at it. No, you can also look at Sorry, let me give you this.
In another angle. Yes, you can be saying this, but your action is actually saying this. So the picture that would go down, the picture that would sink. I was actually eating, so you weren't wrong. I was eating, but what I said, and then for purpose of clarity, maybe I didn't say it so well because I had something in my
In your
mouth.
mouth.
So issues of clarity, now it may not necessarily mean you have something in your mouth, but if you communicate and you don't say it well, you don't put it in a language that is understandable,
Being loud enough.
yeah, loud enough. I'm just saying about that clarity,
Understand what is being said.
because
Sometimes it's even hearing, normal hearing, not even understanding.
I know audible, being audible, but
Can be mumbling words. Person will not even hear you talk more to understand it.
Okay.
I think the most dangerous one is you heard, but you misunderstood. You understand? I think that's the one that happens mostly in relationships. Like the case that happened, the one you are giving us an example of, it happens, but it's rare. Mostly it's rare. You understand that you misheard someone is very rare. Mostly in relationships is when I say something but you read a different meaning or you did not understand what I say. That is where you tend to have issues even in homes. I think, and I'll extend by saying that to avoid that at times, maybe when we say urieko, that this is what I mean. Oh. Don't assume that the other person understood what you say, especially if there is a precedence, or maybe there is something that occurred that that there is a past record where you were misunderstood.
Understood.
Yes. So, but if you've never had that, no need of you understand that this is what I mean. Oh, you understand?
Mm.
So I'm not saying that you should be repeating. There is some critical issues. Yeah. So just to avoid that, and for the listener too, you understand, you can say, do you mean this?
Mm.
You understand? Someone told me that if you want to master people's name, as in, if you are meeting someone for the first time, if he tells you his name, say it back to him.
Mm.
You understand? Oh, this, you understand, that's the best, because I was just sharing one of my weaknesses. I find it difficult to remember people's name. I can, when I see your face, it can stick forever. In fact, even when it comes to following road, if I follow a road for the first time, no matter how koni it is, I will master it.
The roads.
If I see your face, I will master. But names, you understand? As, and the person will be
So there are a lot of things that hide under blue and
that's
java.
it. So so the person now told me that the best way is, if someone tells you his name, just mention it back to the person. That is one of the strategies you can do to develop ability to retain people's names. If they tell you a name and you just say okay, that the chances of you forgetting is very very high. But if you say okay, my name is John, and you say, oh John, nice meeting you, you understand, so there is a way it will stick. So if you are like, okay, someone is, especially on critical issues, you understand, you can ask your spouse, sorry oh, for clarity's sake, do you mean this? The person will say, oh no, that's not what
What
I
I
mean,
meant.
so that will solve any misunderstanding. And
That takes us to the third one, which is just what you said, our response. Okay, our response. It is important that I know some people don't like when they are talking that you intercept, you know, but it is important that if before you respond or before the person moves away from that point that he or she is making, that you stop the person to clarify, to be sure that you heard the person well. One of the elements of customer service, when you are doing customer service call and some of those things, is for you to still repeat back to the person what the person said. Now the person calls you for a solution or for a complaint, and after the person speaking, now you can say, okay, Mr. So so and so, I heard you said this. Yeah, is that correct? If the person said, no, that number three, no, that is not true. Okay, then okay, please, what did you say? And the person can say it again. So I think we can also adopt that into our homes. That as our spouses are speaking, we should always also think. I mean, make a room for response, especially the aspect of clarity. That you brought out. That clarity has caused a lot of havoc.
yeah.
It's not just about the listening, but that clarity. Okay, and that's why we talked about our expressing in all openness, I mean, with much openness, so that the person will be able to know. Let the person see how you feel, what you mean and everything. Okay, so God will help us in Jesus' name.
I promise that we are going to take it very critical. Is the
Okay.
ability to talk.
Okay.
Yes, I think we discussed so much
Yeah,
on
on
this,
this, yeah.
and it was a take home to all of
Yeah.
us that we should not bottle matters, especially the issues husband and wife.
And
If you
wife,
have
yeah.
any issue, sitting down to talk is magical. It has solved wars. It has and not talking has also caused a lot of havoc.
Yeah.
So it's just a kind of to re-echo it, that we should not bottle things, no matter what. In fact, no matter what it will cost you to sit down and talk, it is better to bear the brunt, the pains of sitting down and talking your ego, your whatsoever, bury it and sit down and talk issues than to just bottle up things and you know, even medically, it's not good for you to be bottling issues in your mind. Before you know, you begin to have some health complications. So talking out is medicinal.
Yeah,
You
highly,
understand?
highly medicinal.
They say that people that when you do it to them, they give it back to you. Such kind of people, they hardly have BP. You understand? Yes, now they will just pour it and it's out. You understand? So they
Yeah.
will not carry it with them. But those that will just be bottling up the issues of 3 years ago, they will be keeping it and be looking at you. So let's try to create that room for conversation. It does a lot when it comes to relationship issues.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that contribution. We, I think, like you said, we discussed quite a lot on this, and again, we also found out that our wives also sometimes had this challenge that when something happens and you ask them, "May I faru?" That's what you for me. Right inside you, you could see the atmosphere has changed and evidences are glaring. Okay, but she will keep saying, "Back on me." I know how much God helped me to struggle that time, personally. And God has really helped my wife to really, really work. And I want to say at this point that it's like she had even gone past it. Okay. But it was really a struggle at first. Like again, the chiwa akwe magana, something the mother chamaka back home. And like you said, bottling up things. We had an experience lately, um, last month when we had a conversation with a group, and amongst ourselves we realized that somebody had kept things for close to 30 years. Yes, things that happened almost 30 years ago. But the issue there is that you can't keep those things in you and remain bright.
At all.
Okay, everything in you will speak gloomy. You can never be seen as brighten up, and progress wise, sincerely, you won't be able to make any progress. So you could see bitterness smelling everywhere, hurt and everything. Okay, so it's very, very resentment. Resentment is even very
Once you
deadly.
see the person,
Yeah, resentment. Is quite a very difficult one. So let's just continue to cultivate the habit of expressing ourselves. Okay. Okay, so the way we express ourselves also matters. Okay, but I think we're able to talk about some of these things so that in your expressing, you don't also cross boundaries. Okay, you don't cross boundaries. Okay, so as you are expressing, know that okay, this person is your wife, or you are not just talking to one house girl or somebody outside. This person is your husband, no matter how expressing you are, know that this one are your husband. No, don't cross the line. Okay, so it's very, very important that we draw such lines. Okay, you want to say something?
No, actually, that was the point I actually had in mind to say that yes, there's leverage and the freedom to express yourself. Where your own freedom, listen, that's where another person's own begins. So you just know how far so far. That yes, so that see finish will not come inside. Especially the fact that we are spouses. You understand? If we are not careful and conscious and disciplined, the tendency for once in a while for us to misbehave and then cross the line is always there. So even in expressing, that will also have the consciousness that, like you said, we are talking to our husbands, we are talking to our wives.
So sincerely, that sea finish has really finished a lot of families, a lot of couples. Sincerely, okay. But God will help us.